Chapter 1. The discovery. Daniel sat in his study, surrounded by walls lined with books on cryptography and codes. His fingers danced across the keyboard, effortlessly decrypting a complex cipher that had stumped his colleagues for weeks. As an esteemed cryptographer, Daniel was no stranger to unraveling enigmas and unlocking secrets, but nothing could have prepared him for the devastating discovery that would shatter his world. It was a seemingly ordinary day when Daniel stumbled upon a series of emails that revealed his wife, Sarah's, infidelity. The shock hit him like a physical blow, leaving him breathless and disoriented. How could the woman he loved, the one he had built a life with, betray him in such a callous manner? Instead of confronting Sarah directly, Daniel found himself consumed by a seething anger that simmered just beneath the surface. He couldn't bear to look her in the eye and see the lies reflected back at him. No, he would not give her the satisfaction of witnessing his pain. Instead, he made a decision that would change the course of their lives forever. In that moment, Daniel made a choice. He would become the enigma, a shadowy figure who would seek justice in the only way he knew how, through cryptic messages and a relentless pursuit of truth. With a steely determination, he set out to craft a series of clues and codes that would lead Sarah on a treacherous journey, unraveling the web of deceit that she had spun. As he delved deeper into his plan for revenge, Daniel's mind crackled with a newfound intensity. He would make Sarah feel the same gut-wrenching agony that had consumed him since the moment he uncovered her betrayal. With a cold resolve, he set the wheels in motion, knowing that there would be no turning back from the path he had chosen. Little did Sarah know, she was about to embark on a twisted treasure hunt, one that would force her to confront the consequences of her actions and the depths of her husband's pain. The stage was set, and the game had only just begun. Chapter 2. The first clue. Sarah sat in their cozy living room, the weight of Daniel's discovery heavy on her heart. She couldn't shake the feeling of guilt and regret that gnawed at her insides. The cryptic message she had found in the book lay open in her hands, its words taunting her with the knowledge that Daniel was aware of her affair. As she stared at the jumble of letters and symbols, a surge of panic washed over her. She had to decipher the message, had to follow the clues, but each step she took felt like a plunge into the abyss of her own betrayal. The message led her to a place where she and Daniel had shared a significant memory, a place that held the echoes of their once vibrant love. As she stood in the fading light, the memories flooded back, painting the scene with bittersweet nostalgia. Flashbacks of their early days together flickered in her mind, a time when their love was untainted by lies and deceit. But as the images shifted, the cracks in their marriage became starkly evident, revealing the slow erosion of trust and intimacy that had led her astray. Each clue she unraveled unearthed a new layer of their troubled marriage, exposing the lies and secrets that had festered beneath the surface. Sarah grappled with the weight of her actions, the pain she had inflicted upon the man she once cherished with all her heart. As she delved deeper into the cryptic messages, she began to realize the extent of Daniel's knowledge and the depth of his anguish. The unraveling of their past laid bare the raw emotions that had long been buried, forcing her to confront the consequences of her betrayal in a way she had never imagined. With each step she took, Sarah was drawn further into the intricate web of Daniel's revenge, her heart heavy with the weight of her own guilt. The first clue was only the beginning, and she knew that the path ahead would lead her to face the harsh truths she had tried so desperately to bury. Chapter 3. Unraveling the past. Sarah's heart raced as she followed the next clue, leading her to a place where she and Daniel had shared a significant memory. The air was heavy with the weight of their troubled marriage, and as she stood in the familiar surroundings, the memories flooded back, painting the scene with bittersweet nostalgia. She couldn't shake the guilt and regret that gnawed at her insides, knowing that each clue unearthed a new layer of their fractured relationship. The unraveling of their past laid bare the raw emotions that had long been buried, forcing her to confront the consequences of her betrayal in a way she had never imagined. As she delved deeper into the cryptic messages, she began to realize the extent of Daniel's knowledge and the depth of his anguish. The memories of their early days together flickered in her mind, a time when their love was untainted by lies and deceit. But as the images shifted, the cracks in their marriage became starkly evident, revealing the slow erosion of trust and intimacy that had led her astray. Each clue she unraveled unearthed a new layer of their troubled marriage, exposing the lies and secrets that had festered beneath the surface. Sarah grappled with the weight of her actions, the pain she had inflicted upon the man she once cherished with all her heart. The next clue took Sarah to a place where she and Daniel had shared a significant memory, a place that held the echoes of their once vibrant love. As she stood in the fading light, the memories flooded back, painting the scene with bittersweet nostalgia. The unraveling of their past laid bare the raw emotions that had long been buried, forcing her to confront the consequences of her betrayal in a way she had never imagined. With each step she took, Sarah was drawn further into the intricate web of Daniel's revenge, her heart heavy with the weight of her own guilt. The next clue awaited, promising to reveal more of the painful truths that had been hidden for so long. Chapter 4. The countdown. The tension in the air was palpable as Sarah raced against time to decipher the last few cryptic messages. Each clue had become more intense and personal, causing her to confront the depth of Daniel's pain and anger. The weight of her betrayal hung heavy on her shoulders, and the urgency of the situation fueled her determination to unravel the enigma that her husband had become. Meanwhile, Daniel meticulously planned the final message, knowing it would lead to a confrontation with Sarah and her lover. His mind was consumed with thoughts of retribution, and every detail of the grand finale was carefully orchestrated to ensure that his wife would face the consequences of her actions. As the countdown to the final message began, both Daniel and Sarah found themselves on a collision course towards a confrontation that would change their lives forever. The cryptic puzzles had become a battleground of emotions, with each code and clue serving as a battlefield for their unresolved conflicts. The stakes were higher than ever, and the looming presence of the ultimate revelation cast a shadow over both Daniel and Sarah. The countdown to the final message was a relentless reminder of the impending reckoning, a culmination of their tumultuous journey from love to betrayal, and the inevitable clash that awaited them. Chapter 5. The confrontation. The final message led Sarah to a secluded location where Daniel awaited with a chilling ultimatum. The air crackled with tension as Sarah and her lover arrived, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. Daniel stood before them, a figure shrouded in darkness, his eyes burning with a mix of fury and pain. Without a word, Daniel handed them a sealed envelope containing the last code, his gaze never leaving Sarah's eyes. The weight of their actions hung heavy in the air, and the silence was deafening as Sarah and her lover huddled together, frantically trying to unravel the cryptic message. As the seconds ticked by, Sarah's hands trembled with the weight of her guilt and regret. Each failed attempt to solve the code felt like a dagger to her heart, a painful reminder of the irreversible damage she had caused. Her lover, too, was gripped by a sense of impending doom, realizing the magnitude of their betrayal and the wrath they had unleashed. Finally, with trembling hands, Sarah pieced together the final code, her eyes widening in disbelief as the message was revealed. It was a haunting revelation that laid bare the extent of Daniel's knowledge and the depth of his suffering. The words echoed with a haunting finality, driving home the irreversible consequences of their actions. In that moment, the confrontation brought forth raw emotions and bitter truths, laying bare the shattered remnants of their marriage. Daniel's eyes bore into Sarah's, a tumult of emotions swirling within them. The silence was suffocating, heavy with the weight of their broken trust and shattered love. Chapter 6. The aftermath. The aftermath of the confrontation revealed the true extent of the damage caused by Daniel's revenge. Sarah grappled with the harsh reality of her betrayal, her heart heavy with the realization of the irreparable damage she had wrought. The weight of Daniel's pain and the depth of his suffering weighed heavily on her, and she struggled to come to terms with the shattered remnants of their marriage. In the days that followed, Sarah found herself consumed by guilt and regret, unable to escape the haunting memories of the confrontation. The once vibrant and loving bond between her and Daniel had been irreparably shattered, leaving behind a void that seemed impossible to fill. Every corner of their home echoed with the painful reminders of their broken trust and shattered love. As Sarah sought solace in the fragments of their past, she was confronted with the harsh reality of the irreversible effects of seeking vengeance. The choices made and the price paid weighed heavily on her, casting a shadow over every aspect of her life. The once bright future she had envisioned with Daniel now seemed like a distant dream, lost to the ravages of betrayal and revenge. Meanwhile, Daniel grappled with the aftermath of his own actions, coming face to face with the true extent of the damage he had wrought. The pursuit of justice had cost him dearly, leaving behind a trail of heartache and desolation. The once brilliant cryptographer now found himself lost in a sea of regrets, questioning the limits of forgiveness and the consequences of his relentless quest for retribution.